What is the history of the farm?
Well, my father-in-law, Mr. Duffield, his family has been here since the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when his father purchased the original parcel, and they raised fruits and vegetables up until, he farmed up until 1953 when he passed away. And then David Sr., who owns the farm at this time, that's when he took it over.
Okay. All right. And how has it grown over time?
I just had to ask the same question for something else, and the answer that I got as far as the, I guess the money that we've generated, it's 300%. We've increased over the last 25 years.
Wow.
So,
what is your definition of organic?
my definition of organic is basically what you would find in the dictionary, and that's anything derived from living organisms. So I say all food is organic.
Yeah. Has the farm grown, like, field-wise? Like, have you gotten more land and
We
stuff like that?
actually, I think the original parcel was maybe 150, including the ground that we rent. It's probably maybe 375 acres is what we farm now.
Because your produce is locally grown, would you consider it close to organic in any way?
There are some things that we grow that we don't use any pesticides on. It's just not necessary. But we are not certified organic, so we can't advertise that they're organic. I guess so some of it is, some of it isn't.
Okay. What types of pesticides and fertilizers do you use?
Some of the pesticides that we use are organic pesticides, and the others are systemic.
Do you know what that means?
The way that the guys that are licensed to use our pesticides and fertilizers, the way they explained it to me was that they try to use, everything that we use is under regulation, because we use integrated pest management, which means nothing gets sprayed unless it has to. Unless it has a disease or a certain bug, and that's all monitored through IPM. So if we get a year where we don't have bugs, then we don't need to spray. And the analogy that they used is like your child with medicine. If your child was sick and needed medication, you would get your child medication. It's the same way with the crops. If there's a problem with them, and in order to get a harvest and be able to sell it, we need to spray it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good enough answer?
Yeah, that's good. Do you practice crop rotation, and if so, how often do you rotate the crops?
We rotate crops every year.
Okay.
So everything is rotated.
What are the benefits of crop rotation?
When you use crop rotation, you get better soil health, so it's better for the soil. It also cuts down on the weeds, and it also cuts down on the pests and some diseases.
Okay, so it kind of helps where you don't have to, like,
That would
use
allow,
many
yeah,
pesticides and stuff.
by doing crop rotation, you can cut down on your pesticide usage.
Okay. Do you know if it's cheaper to farm the way that you farm, or if it's...
We think that it's definitely cheaper because you're getting, if you're an organic farmer and you get a pest or something and you can't control it, or you get a disease and you can't control it, you're at a total loss. Where we feel like the way we do it is we get the best harvest that we can, therefore we can sell the product. And, a lot of times, if you have worms in your corn, you're going to lose. The customers aren't going to buy the corn because they know that your corn has worms in it. So if you're known to not have that, then your product's going to sell better. So I think it's definitely cheaper because you're not losing any of your product. you're able to make a profit off of it.
Okay. Have you ever thought about changing to farming organically?
No.
Why or why not?
It's too costly. Again,
Yeah.
it's too, you take that loss, and it costs a lot of money. And you also have to charge more money. Organic produce it costs a lot more. So, and we don't really think that we have a market here for that. Like, we don't feel like people would buy it. They wouldn't buy it at the price that we would have to charge.
What determines or affects the cost of your fruits and vegetables?
I would say more, most of our stuff we try to stay in the market price. So we look at the market prices that come through Philadelphia or New York, or the local market in Vineland. We try to stay in line with what, the quote-unquote market price is for this area. If we have a high yield on certain crops, then obviously we can drop the price. We have the option to do that ourselves because we're a family-owned business. And just likewise, if we get a disease in our pumpkins and we lose our pumpkins and have to purchase pumpkins, then obviously we're going to have to charge a higher price for them.
Do you ever kind of lower the cost maybe of something slightly to kind of make it more marketable, towards?
Oh yeah, well, and again, if we have a high, some years you get, bins and bins of squash, sometimes that just has a high yield. So in order to get rid of that, we would put a cheaper price on it.
Have you ever had any plant diseases that affected your crops?
Yes, we have.
What kind of crops have been affected?
Probably our biggest one would be it's called Phytophthora, and it's a fungus that gets in squash, pumpkins, pretty much all that family. I believe cucumbers. I think they even had a year where it affected the strawberry crop, and you just can't. It's a fungus that attacks it. There's nothing that will kill it, and therefore, you take a loss on it. So,
is there any way to save, I guess, any of the crop, or?
They have found out that if it's extremely wet, if we have a rainy, if we plant the pumpkins and as they're coming into bloom, we have a rainy period, that has an effect on it. So they've even decided to maybe plant them a little bit later so that they're not, they wouldn't have to worry about that. But they also, if they see it starting in a field, sometimes they'll tear all the plants out around it and the ones that are affected, and that'll keep it from spreading. So,
would any of these diseases be dangerous if the public did consume it? You didn't catch it, or does it just destroy the crops?
It would just destroy the crop. And I was told that none of the problems that our crops, that would never affect anybody health-wise.
Okay.
If they consumed it.
Okay.
However, can I put a however in?
Yeah.
If you remember the scare a few years back of the salad mix in the bag, that started from our organic farm.
Really?
Because they had E. coli, and E. coli came from the cow manure. It was either cow manure or pig manure, but it came from the manure that they used as their fertilizer.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Just a little side note.
Organic? No. So you don't use any types of manure or anything like that to make it?
We have used manure in the past, but when we use it, we're not putting it right on the crop. We use it in the wintertime and then turn the soil over. We never use it right on the actual food product itself.
Yeah. So there's probably not a chance of E. coli or anything like that?
No.
That's good. What kind of seeds do you use?
Hybrid seeds.
Uh-huh.
I know some of our seeds are treated. They're pre-treated with certain fertilizers and certain, I believe it's fungicides. And that way you won't have to worry about it rotting in the ground before it came up.
Do you know the name of the seed company, or do you get it from?
We get them from a couple different companies. I should know this because the boxes. But I'm drawing a
It's
computer.
okay. Do you get them from, do you have to have a special kind of seed from
Yeah,
Jersey because it's Jersey grown?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, it's just like anything else. A seed salesman comes, brings his catalog. You go through the catalog, you pick out the varieties that you want.
Yeah.
You usually go with the same varieties. Sometimes they'll have something on a trial, so that you can try it. And they found different varieties that withstand different climates or whatever, different weather. So, that can change, or something that might be more marketable. Again, with pumpkins, they had a pumpkin that was not a real small pumpkin, but not a huge pumpkin, just kind of perfect for the school kids. And I think they even called them school time pumpkins. So, of course, then we tried that. They had nice stems on them, so you didn't have to worry about the kids breaking the stem off. And so it's basically just like you would do your catalog.
Seed shopping. Do you know, what constitutes, I guess, Jersey grown, just because it's grown in Jersey, or do you have to treat it specially, or?
Jersey, I know, if you're under Jersey Fresh,
Yeah.
you do have to have say a permit to market your stuff as Jersey Fresh. Locally grown, on the other hand, and I just learned this a couple years ago, is anything within, I think it's like 375 miles. So if you're buying something that's locally grown, it might not necessarily be grown in New Jersey. It could be grown in New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland.
Oh, wow.
Anywhere. Actually, I think even West Virginia would be considered, because it's anything within that mileage. And I think that's kind of deceiving in a way. So that's why we always try to use, most of our stuff we say our own homegrown, and if not, if we know it's from Jersey, it's Jersey Fresh.
Okay. Gotcha. Are there any types of seeds you said that you use that yield the pumpkins and stuff like that, but have you found in taste or anything like that, or appearance? I mean, have they switched over seeds because they found that something else?
Yeah, you know what, I'm not really sure about that.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not involved in that whole seed deal. The guys take care of that.
Yeah.
Because I know David keeps track of, if they have any problems or whatever. And again, when the salesman comes, if he has something new or better, something that other people have tried, then he'll encourage us to use that.
And